So I've accidentally begun to pants my outline, and I know what you're thinking. What are you talking about? Pantsing means writing without an outline. Yes, but I think I can consider this pantsing, but let's just go back to the beginning to see how this all happened. Hello everybody, my name is Danny and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my mid-month writing update for Camp NaNoWriMo that I'm only loosely participating in, but it's fine, everyone's putting out Camp Nano videos, so I figured I should do one too. Basically, I just wanted to talk to you guys about how my writing has been going, because I feel like these past couple of months my channel has been very, reading heavy. I've definitely been skewing more towards the booktube side of my channel rather than the authortube side, and I've missed writing. I haven't really been in the best writing mood since the beginning of the year, but I've got some traction on this story, and I want to talk about it. So, Camp NaNoWriMo Day 1, my plan had been to just write out all of the plot points that I already knew were going to happen in the story, like scenes I already imagined, and I ended up writing out 3 of these, which there's a lot more than that in my head. But I wrote out the not strip poker scene and also 2 character introduction scenes, and then I gave up on the idea of listing all these out because I was getting way too detailed and I just didn't feel like doing that anymore. And then I promptly did not work on my story for days 2, 3, or 4 of the month. Day 5, I looked over the first chapter of Save the Cat where they talk about character stuff and how to make your main character a good main character, and I did some work with that because I do have 5 main characters in this story. It is multiple points of view, and I wanted to make sure they were all as fleshed out as I could get them before I actually started writing, and I wanted to see how they differed and where they were very similar, which was a very big surprise to me. I didn't realize that 2 of these characters would be such close mirrors for each other, but they definitely are, and I'm very excited to explore that in the text. And then I didn't do anything on the 6th day because I had a really rough day at work, so I just didn't feel like writing. And then day 7 came around and we had a chaos stream, and right at the beginning I was talking and I'm like, I really don't feel like outlining right now. I still want to work on character stuff and world building a little bit more before I actually get into the outline. And then we started the first sprint and I immediately began to outline my story. And I ended up writing out a full page for chapter 1 and a full page for chapter 2 in one day, which sounds crazy. That's a lot of work for me for one day, but I figured out the first 2 chapters and they came really easily, and this is where I say that I'm pantsing my outline, because normally when I write, I do 2 different outlines, and I think I have a video on this, and if I do, I will link it. It's probably a little bit outdated and kind of needs to be redone at some point, but that is neither here nor there. But yes, normally when I outline, I do the first one being kind of like the Save the Cat beat sheet, but a little bit of tweaks to fit my writing style. And then the second outline is the full chapter outline where I go into detail about what actually happens in each specific chapter. But I kind of just skipped to that part, and I feel like a little bit of a pants for doing this because I don't have the whole story figured out. I'm kind of just going with the outline and seeing how it flows, and I am having a good time with it. The next couple of days I wrote out the next couple of chapters, and then I actually did go back to doing that bullet point list of all the scenes that I know are going to happen, because chapter 4 is kind of a short transitional chapter, bringing us from the whole introduction to the characters in the world into the main swing of the storyline, and so it didn't take up the whole page when I was summarizing what I wanted to happen in that chapter, so I used the rest of that page to list out 16 bullet points that bring us from the first chapter all the way to the end, my personal favorite being the 14th bullet point that just says, "Something has to go here, but I don't know what yet." So clearly I don't have the whole story figured out, but I do have a lot of the major points along the way, and I kind of just have to fill in between them. Today is the 14th of the month. Yes, I'm filming this the day before it is going out, we know I'm really bad at time management, but at this point I have the first 6 chapters figured out, and it's just over 2,000 words. I'm estimating because I am handwriting this, so then I have to physically count it. I don't have a fancy word counter like I do when I use Google Docs, and so I've probably made errors in counting these words, but it's about 2,000, and I have no idea how long this outline is going to be because I haven't figured out the whole story yet. Don't know how many chapters it's going to be. I'm just really excited to see how this whole thing plays out. I think the hardest part for me has been figuring out which point of view to use for each chapter. Some of them are very clear as to whose point of view it should be. So like the first chapter is Alarena's perspective. I just can't imagine it being from anyone else's. It just makes so much sense for her to be the first character we see the story through. And a little bit later on, we meet a new character and we meet this character from their perspective. And I think that's a really cool thing to do. And we get to witness the other point of view characters from like a distance, from a stranger's point of view. And so those make sense. Other chapters, it's like, well, it could be this character, it could be that character, and I don't know, to figure that out, I'm kind of just going to keep going and then see when I get a little further in if there's like one point of view that is so much less than the others and needs to be balanced out more. Maybe I'll give them a chapter, figure all that out. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. So, yeah, this has been a very strange experience so far with my outlining. I'm having a great time with it. I'm not going to complain, but it's certainly really weird and not something I'm used to doing in this way. But I very much look forward to continuing on with this and one day having a full outline. I really don't know how long this is going to take, but you know, good things take time, and we're just going to keep rolling with it. And that is all for me today. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my writing. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you in the next one. Bye!